Hi, I'm going to do a blue review today because I had some collector's porn, as they call it, that I just wanted to show off. I don't have a tremendous amount of steelbooks, uh, Blu-ray steelbooks, but I have a few. I do have some box sets that are nice, and some of which I've shown off on the channel. Um, but yeah, some people collect the steelbooks like crazy, and they've become kind of mainstream now. A lot of companies are issuing them. I know FYE is doing FYE exclusive um, steelbooks, and even at Target is getting recent and classic movies on Blu-ray in steelbook editions. And some of them are nice. Some of them are just kind of obviously kind of banged out to capitalize on the collector fetishism, but those of us who have been collector fetishists for a while have always liked this kind of stuff. I've never been the hugest proponent of steelbooks, but when I've been able to get one, I certainly have. I've sold a few DVD steelbooks of mine, but I do have a small handful of Blu-ray steelbooks, and a full half of them comes from Universal, who's done a ton of steelbook releases. They did a whole series. So I'm going to show you the ones I've got. I picked up a few used at a nearby store called Manifest Records that I used to work for, and they were pretty inexpensive. Manifest usually prices their used stuff at new prices, sometimes standard retail prices. So sometimes you'll find a used item there for more than you buy a new on say Amazon. These were pretty inexpensive though. Sometimes things will slip through the cracks. So here goes. This one is Casino. My last the last Martin Scorsese movie that I really love. Let's see. It's kind of an odd steelbook. It says no one stays at the top forever. And it's got the dice and cards and a pin through the heart. I don't know. I mean, I guess all this is referring to the fact that Ace Rothstein, is on top at the casinos during the golden age of casinos. And, he falls in love with Ginger, played by Sharon Stone, and that's his undoing. Common theme through the movie. She just keeps kind of messing with his mind, and he won't let her go just because he's obsessed with her, even though they really don't have much of anything going on between them. He just has to have her, and some people's idea of love is different than others. But she's a pretty reprehensible character. But karma comes her way, and Stone does some good acting. She's not exactly a mistress of the art, but she's good in this. She was nominated for an Oscar. I don't know if I would have bequeathed that on her, but still, of course, De Niro is amazing. And it's a long movie with a long, complicated storyline, kind of getting into the mechanics of what the casino business was like back then, with in Las Vegas, with the mob kind of funneling money in and out of it, kind of overseeing it from afar. They get into all the details of that. I actually prefer Casino to Goodfellas by a good bit, but go figure. So there's not much to this steelbook. The green is kind of weird here. But anyway, this is the little thing that came on the back that kind of got detached. They stick them on this gummy stuff, which that's all. It just gives you the credits to the movie and the whatever you call this thing, the digital HD copy if you want to cash it in, but they expire after a while. And some of the bonus features. And it's an okay amount of bonus features, just a little more than on the DVD, which is pretty bare bones. And this is the Blu-ray. This is you can tell by this little logo here, or however you want to put it, graphic. But this was an early Universal Blu-ray back when they, were kind of trying to figure out how to market them and how to talk about all the special features. Um, so they had these kind of, some of the special features were a little silly, bookmarking your favorite scenes in the movie and some pretty unnecessary stuff, but they always had this kind of little graphic that would jump out of the side of the screen with the blue Universal thing, and it would tell you how jazzy and snazzy Blu-rays were. So anyway, it's one from probably the same era. It did get a little bent over the years, not by me, but I bought it used, like I said. Might be one reason it was cheaper. All right, so another one that came out quite a while back. Everyone's favorite movie, Hulk by Ang Lee. I could probably just stop talking about this now and move on because so many people lose interest completely right now with this. But that's okay. I'm going to torment you guys. So they did a series where they were showing scenes, drawings, and illustrations of scenes from the movies with comic book panels. I don't know if they all patterned them after the fact that Hulk actually did this in the movie itself. But they did a whole, they did Serenity and Scarface and just a whole line of Universal titles that were done in this format. I kind of liked them. I think obviously it fit this one the best. I was never really into the Hulk graphic here with just a hand, as though they're trying to keep him in mystery. Because, the CGI was great for the time, especially on Hulk, the way he looked. But I didn't like his actual design, his actual face and haircut that much. I hated the ones in the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. He looked terrible. But I thought the Hulk that's been in the MCU since then has been great. He's looked perfect. So, trial and error. They made him kind of too dark green in this. But this still, to me, is a valid adaptation of Hulk. It's got a lot of pieces from the Peter David era of the comic, and all the way back to the Bill Mantlo era. Bill Mantlo is kind of the guy who came up with the idea that his father was a scientist and his father was abusive. And then Peter David came up with the idea that that's kind of what created the split personality of the Hulk, and also why the Hulks had in the comic books a variety of different personalities over the years, and even some of the different colors. Some were gray, some were green, some were childlike, some were borderline evil. They eventually get integrated in a psychiatric session with Doc Samson, one supporting characters, who's a gamma irradiated psychiatrist. Cool character created by Roy Thomas. There's no Doc Samson in the movies, unfortunately, but yeah. So it also draws a bit the graphics, kind of the stuff where they're chasing Hulk in the desert and they're blowing up mountains. Reminds me of the Herb Trimpe, Marie Severin, John Severin era of art, where he was lost in the desert a lot, wandering around, kind of existentialist. A lot of those are written by Roy Thomas too, and by Jerry Conway. So I like it. I like the psychological gravitas of it. Some people really think it's hokey and a bit much, but they just want to see Hulk smashing and all this other stuff. And Hulk did do a lot of smashing in this movie, but maybe not the kind they wanted him to do, like in Avengers. But this is my favorite iteration of the Hulk on film of all that have been made. Eric Bana is by far my favorite Bruce Banner. He's actually playing the character that I kind of grew up with, the insecure, socially awkward scientist guy. He's kind of emotionally repressed. That wasn't in the Bill Bixby take or the Edward Norton take. Ruffalo has kind of gradually kind of grown into the role and made it a little more authentic. And he's even taken the story of him, his integration that I mentioned earlier, personalities, with the Professor Hulk persona that he gains in Avengers Endgame. So another bit of Peter David adaptations. As far as this Blu-ray, yeah, see, this has the thing with all the collect 'em all comic book ones. You know, they all got comic book covers. I don't know if you can see these or not, or want to see them. Hot Fuzz, Scarface, um, Hulk, obviously, The Big Lebowski, Pitch Black, some of these I can't even read. Van Helsing, Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim. They're pretty cool covers. So all those came out as steelbooks, I think on DVD and Blu-ray. The DVDs, the Blu-rays themselves. Actually, you know what? This is a combination. So this has the DVD too. I didn't realize that, but it has the Blu-ray. Blu-ray has all the special features that are on the double disc DVD Universal put out when the movie hit home video. I believe I finally sold it, believe it or not, for like $2. Some some wonderful soul bought it. Last kudos to this movie. I like the casting. Like I said, I think Nick Nolte's brilliant in this movie. This was a period where Nick Nolte was kind of given a lot of stick for being kind of a wild man, and he grew his hair long and his beard. He got arrested drunk, and his mugshots looked that way. But he has that look in this movie, and his David Banner character is fantastic. And around the same time, he did Clean by Olivier Assayas with Maggie Cheung, and he's incredible in that. Totally different kind of character, but he's got some great deliveries in both movies. Some really unforgettable shit. They gave him the best dialogue. And of course, it's done by Ang Lee with James Schamus, his usual co-scripter, translator, whatever. They did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon together, and Ice Storm, and Ride of the Devil. He's got a pretty varied catalog. So here's one where I still had the thing kind of tacked on the back. I might then take it off, but Psycho. That's the Bates Motel and the blood dripping down into the drain. It's kind of a cool graphic. The back says we all go a little crazy sometimes, so it's kind of like the Casino one. It's burgundy instead of green. So it has a lot of bonus features. All the ones that are on the Universal DVD, I sold mine quite a while back in that Alfred Hitchcock collection. And some others that weren't on there before, and of course the obligatory extra digital HD and ultraviolet. Best picture it's ever looked to me. I've seen quite a few versions of it, and of course I've seen it countless times. It was one of the first horror movies I came to love as a child. I think I first saw it when I was 10 years old. I don't think I was any older. It wasn't played a lot on our syndicated channels. But my dad had seen it in the theater in 1960, and he liked it. And my mom liked mystery, so she liked Hitchcock. She thought Psycho was a bit extreme, but it was one of those places where they kind of had a common interest and helped foster my interest. So Hitchcock was the first director I ever knew by name. I didn't really know exactly what a director did, but I guess I sensed he was like the author of the work or whatever behind the work. I probably thought he wrote it and didn't really understand the whole directing thing of it. But I think John Carpenter was the second that I knew by name. Of course, that I was right of that generation where Halloween blew up, and then Escape from New York, etc. We'll be getting back to John Carpenter in a minute. This is a really nice edition. I'm glad I have it on Blu-ray. This was very inexpensive. This one used to come through at Second Charles, really cheap when I worked there. All these really low in price. I bought. I'm not sure about this Hulk one. Where I got it. The Casino and the Psycho I got at Manifest the same day. I might have gotten Hulk the same day. So let's look inside of this guy. So again, the incredible ultraviolet feature everybody wants. Everybody wants their ultraviolet copies, man. Is that really a popular thing? I mean, did that ever catch on in a big way? Of course, a graphic from one of the original movie posters. Still a hell of a movie, man. Still a treasure. Glad I have that in the permanent library. Here's one I'm really glad I have. Um, Speaking of John Carpenter, this is a really nice one uh, that I ordered online. I got this movie. It was an early Universal Blu-ray, and it didn't have too many bonus features. It didn't have nearly the bonus features that were on the uh, Universal DVD that came out in the early 2000s. I mean, it was filled with bonus features. Um, so I was a little disappointed in the Blu-ray. It was really cheap, and I was like, I got it in my collection, and it looks like that was the only kind of mainstream edition out of this movie. But good old Shout Factory, Scream Factory, since it's an 80s horror movie, did it right. And this is The Thing. Now, they put out just a regular edition with like a painting of the characters like they do with a lot of the Scream Factory ones. This one still has the sticker on the back. So, yeah, because I bought this one new, but I'm not sure what's under it. Maybe I better not try to bend it up. Some more of this painting. This painting's great, though, with Reedy blasting away at the I guess this is the Blair monster or the Norris monster. I get them mixed up. I have the McFarlane action figures, and I've seen the movie a million times. I should know. But so somebody in the comments, correct me. Tell me who that is, which creature that is. But this is beautiful. This is the definitive for me. I'm not going to upgrade again. I loved this movie for many years. It's the mid-'80s when I started seeing it slightly cut on television on a syndicated channel here. I actually sneaked into it. I went to see Swamp Thing with some friends. Well, a friend and his mom. And she ended up leaving. She was really awful. And, she wasn't really happy that we were going to see a PG movie because, Adrienne Barbeau is momentarily topless. Something that wouldn't happen in a PG movie nowadays. But I sneaked over to see the R movie. I went to the restroom and I sneaked in, and I kind of knew about The Thing. I knew about The Thing from Another World. I read a lot about science fiction. I mean, this was 1982. I was young, but I wasn't like a tiny, tiny tot. And I mean, I was short, but so anyway, I came in during the transformation sequence with the dogs being absorbed and fusing together with the Thing's kind of metamorphic powers, abilities, what have you, and it was wild. I can't think. I say it grossed me out. It was a little disturbing, but I kind of wished I'd stayed and watched it because Swamp Thing wasn't very good, and I didn't see Swamp Thing again for many years. I saw it on TCM Underground about 3 years ago, late at night, and it hit me. Ray Wise, Leland Palmer from Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is Ray Wise. Played Alec Holland originally. This is not a very good adaptation. It's not one of Craven's best, though I do think he was well chosen to be director in the sense that he was good with horror, he was good with lighting, very, very dark, kind of moody, and swamp the swamp suited him, like in his movie Eaten Alive, and but the script and the makeup really weren't there for it. But anyway, DC tried. They couldn't make another Superman the movie back then. The Thing. So let's see what's inside of this guy. I forgot. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. I think it's this is a 3 Blu-ray set. 3 Blu-rays. So The Thing feature film, the 2017. Can you see that 4K scan? There's with McGreedy. There's our man here who tries to administer the electric juice, and his hands go through the creature, and his arms get chewed off. That's disc 3 with special features. This is disc 2 with Childs, my man Keith David, and this is the feature film 2016 2K scan plus bonus features. So this is like got everything. This tells you what's on each one. what disc 1 is just the most up-to-date scan of the feature film. Disc 2 is the interpositive 2K scan approved by Dean Cundy, the cinematographer. There's a bunch of audio commentaries, there's TV spots, radio spots, trailers, still galleries, behind the scenes, artwork. Cool, a lot of artwork, design artwork by Mike Plug and who did Man Thing, speaking of swamp monsters, and by Rob Bottin, who created the creatures, who also, of course, created the beautiful werewolves in The Howling. Disc 3 is like all kinds of short featurettes. Vintage ones, new interviews. There's the network TV broadcast version. So that's what I saw on TV when I was young, and I watched this, and it's the same one. Then there's a vintage product reel, which is a condensed version of the film with alternate footage. So there's like 4 versions of this movie in here. This is not up to Blade Runner level of anal retentiveness, but it's pretty heavy. The Thing, Terror Take, Shade documentary that was on the DVD, and bunches of other things, man. Making of, location scouting, more looks at Bottin's effects. Just a beautiful edition. Okay, so that's half of them. Here's the non-universal ones. This one was a Target exclusive, The Wolverine, by James Mangold. A friend of mine gifted me with this because it was on sale for $10, which, you know, when this came out, $10 was pretty damn low for any Blu-ray. It kind of still is, but this is an okay movie. I didn't like it as much as my friend did. I'm proud to keep it in my library, though, because it is Wolverine. It is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And as an adaptation, it's fair. It's got some elements. It's a little more like a conventional action movie to me, and not necessarily in a good way. Weird things happen in it. It's cool seeing a flashback of him during World War II, but they don't explain how he regained his memory of it, since that had been erased. It was still erased as of X-Men The Last Stand. This is a sequel to X-Men The Last Stand. He's grieving Jean Grey, and Famke Janssen, who plays Jean Grey to perfection, appears in it a bit. I love her in that role. I thought she was amazing. Bill Collector summoning me. I put a stop to that. I'd have to watch this again. I've seen it twice, and I love this graphic, though. It's kind of vaguely Frank Millerish influence graphic. And that's some more comic art on the back and some scenes. Special features. Just, every step of the making of the movie. An alternate ending. I think the alternate ending is when they give him the costume as an honor for his defeating the Silver Samurai. And it's kind of looks like his brown and orange costume with the mask. It's in like a briefcase, but he never wears it in any of the movies. So I don't know if that scene's canonical or not. But with all the timelines and everything with the Fox X-Men, it really maybe doesn't. Maybe it is all canonical and none of it's canonical. So that's no Logan, but it was a good movie. Okay, so let's delve through here. This one a guy was selling his collection. At Second and Charles, where I used to work, I used to appraise used CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyl records, comic books. We had a big comic book section, books, toys, you name it, video games, video game consoles, anything kind of geekish. Loved the job. Didn't really love the management, but I loved the job. And anyway, this guy unloaded quite a bit of his collection. I would say, over a period of months, as he was unloading them, and I was using my employee discount, I got about 150 of his Blu-rays, and I mean they were great. They were they became the spine of my library back here. So this was one. This was really inexpensive because we sold them pretty cheap, meaning we ripped off the people who were selling it to us. Better, I kept telling him, go on eBay. You're not going to get any money here. But he wanted to just quit cash. He was getting a new house and a new wife, so he was just en masse getting rid of them, like Criterions and Scrap Factory, Screen Factories, and Serbian film, the cut version. Lots of horror, superheroes, you name it. He had tons and tons of stuff. So he had a little bit of anime, and this was Ghost in the Shell. This was kind of cool. And this one, it has a slip cover. So this part is kind of see-through. It just says Ghost in the Shell, and the back has the back information. So you can just revel in the actual steelbook graphics here. So it's just our main character here, the Major, linked up with some machines and some more art. I can open this. This is one disc, more of the same kind of graphics. Like I said, this was really inexpensive. I think after my employee discount, it was like $4. So, this was done by Mondo Steelbook, Production LK Kodansha, and Anchor Bay, in association with Anchor Bay. Okay. It does not list the the special features on here in the back. And I'll be real honest, I don't think it had a lot of special features. I think really just this was its own special features. Nice little steelbook with a beautifully remastered. I don't know if it's 4K or 2K or whatever. Friend of the movie, but I had never owned the movie. I liked the movie. I liked the comic. If you want to see Ghost in the Shell, feature length, don't buy that. Don't watch that Scarlett Johansson movie. Check this one out. Then maybe you can watch the Scarlett Johansson movie and kind of snicker at it. So that was a good one. Here's another one I got from that same gentleman's collection, The Mummy, with Boris Karloff, the original classic Mummy. This one also has a little plastic see-through slip thing. So you got the logo, and then you've got the deal with the extras in the back. This has quite a number of bonus features, and of course the digital HD copy. Everybody wants those. And the steelbook itself is really pretty. The back of it's like this. This is one of the, this may be a universal. Yeah, this is a universal one too. I guess I should lump this with my universal ones. But it wasn't done with the comic art cover. It wasn't done with the Casino and Psycho either. With a little quote and new artwork, symbolic artwork. But it was done with a nice painting by Alex Ross, a comic book artist and painter. I'm not the greatest fan of his work overall, but he's a great painter. He's very realistic, and that's his thing. So this is nice. It's very appropriately moody, and I enjoyed it. Watched this a couple times. I watched it Halloween the year I got it, which was like 2018 with my friend Tim McLean on Halloween. So here's the last one, and last I checked, this was going for quite a bit of money on eBay, but that's been a few months. I did an unboxing of this when it came out, and my videos had a ton of views. It wasn't a very long video. It had quite a bit of negative, quite a bit of thumbs down, because at the time I had scandalously parted company with a Facebook cult movie group that I was a co-moderator of, and yeah, it wasn't on very amicable terms. And so when they saw I was doing videos, because the head of the owner of the group had started doing his own videos, and I had done videos in the past, like with She Never Slept, but it had been ages. So when I decided to start doing some unboxing videos, because I liked those, everybody jumped on the chance to vote me down. So I think I got like 2 likes and like two thumbs up and like 8 or 9 thumbs down. Uh, and I knew who they were who did it. That's fine. I don't care. But and one thing is, it got a lot of attention because this was pulled almost immediately as it came out. So this is Django, the original Django, 1966. This is a steelbook. He's carrying the dragon coffin. This is my Arrow video. So apparently, Bill Lustig had put this out on Anchor Bay and on Blue Underground. And it looked like everything was cleared, and this was going to be a big release for Arrow. They'd done it in the UK. They were going to do it in America. I pre-ordered it, and thank goodness I did, because I got mine in the mail street day. And the next day, that's when I did the unboxing video. And then the next day, it was announced it had been pulled everywhere. And so within a week, it was going for like $200. This was like I'm not sure how much I paid. I think I paid $35 pre-order, and it was like a $45 item. There was a regular one, a non-steelbook one. If I'm correct, I actually think the steelbook one was on sale cheaper than the regular edition. The regular edition was also sought after. It was also pulled. Lustig didn't want this particular print, this remastered print circulating. He wanted to have the definitive rights to the definitive remastered, restored Django. But he lost out. Over a period of months, they renegotiated the rights. It looks like this never came out again, the steelbook. But the standard edition did come back out again. I'm assuming it's at a somewhat affordable price for Arrow, maybe $30, $40. Last I checked on eBay, the prices for it had dropped. It was not like $200, $250, but it was like over $100. And if I had another copy, I would have absolutely sell it. But you know what? I don't have another copy, and I don't have the money to just buy the standard edition and try to make a profit off this. It's beautiful, though. And the thing about it is, open this guy up here. You got a beautiful vintage poster of Django, the real Django. Incredible booklet. What's the graphic inside here? They have lobby cards. What is that? Oh, yeah. They have a sort of a light. Oh, no, it's got kind of stuck. I'm going to tour this a little bit. Well, I guess I can't sell it now. Got kind of ripped there. It got stuck somehow. This is a forbidden photos of a lady above suspicion lobby card. It got stuck to my booklet. It's basically advertisements for Arrow products. So yeah, I got torn. Oh, I'm sad. That was the cover of the old Anchor Bay DVD. But yeah, this kind of covers everything, man. I might have gone through this already on that old Django video, but maybe this time around I can do a video talking about this and not get like 10 thumbs down. New painting of him dragging the coffin. It's the same thing that's in the back of the steelbook. Okay, I'm not going to rip anything else here. This is disc 1. This is the movie. The movie's never looked this good. It has just the right amount of grain. I mean, it looks like a movie that you would see in the theater in the early 70s, I guess. I was a wee tot in the early 70s. I kind of vaguely remember the look of movies in a theater. This, of course, came out in 1966. I'm not sure when it hit America, probably 66, 67. But it looked vintage. It looked like it had the look that it was supposed to have theatrically, but also cleaned up and also, pristine. Not like pristine and like super sharp, like the Anchor Bay and Blue Underground prints of movies have been, which I like that look a lot. It makes these older movies look brand new and they really pop. But some of the Arrow remasters have been a little more grainy, like this one and Cat of Nine Tails. And at first I wondered, was that a problem? Did they do something wrong in the mastering? And so I went and read all this technical stuff online, and it turned out that's really about the right. They graded it about right how it should look, and I don't think, since there's not a little sticky thing on the back of this, I'm not sure if there's something that actually tells you what the bonus features on the disc are. Maybe they're not. Maybe there isn't. The thing on Ferdinand Baldi. Vintage reviews and contemporary reviews. Yeah, so I've kind of forgotten what the bonuses are. I know there's like an interview with Franco Nero and one with Ruggero Deodato, who was the assistant director to Sergio Corbucci on this. I think those are the same interviews that were on Blue Underground editions. They got ported over. I think it ported almost everything over. The only thing it didn't port over was the short film that Franco Nero shot called The Last Pistolero, which was shot, in the modern day and put as a special feature on the Blue Underground Blu-rays. I had one of those too. I had a couple of different versions of it. I had it on DVD and on Blu-ray. And I've sold both of those when this came out. So I can't give you details on that, but I will say this one over here is Texas Adios. I'm not going to pull this out because you never know what will happen. But anyway, this is the whole other movie, Texas Adios, by Ferdinando Baldi. Or is it Ferdinand? And he, Franco Nero, and it's a really cool movie. It's kind of like a soap opera-ish family subplot, similar to the one in Lucio Fulci's Massacre Time, also with Franco Nero, where there's someone turns out to be someone's, like the main character, Franco Nero's brother, turns out to be his half brother, and the child of like the evil rich rancher or whatever. It's similar plot in both. So the brother's torn, and Nero, he isn't torn though. He's just like killing these motherfuckers. So it's a little easier in Massacre Time because he's fighting these like Klansmen-like guys who are using Mexicans for target practice. In this one, it's a little more. There are Mexicans involved, and actually the villain Cisco Delgado is the biological father of our hero's brother here. It's dubbed just like Massacre Time was, so it doesn't have Franco Nero's voice. Same with Django. Most of the other Italian films, after this first clutch of spaghetti westerns, Nero insisted on dubbing his own voice. So a lot of times they actually made his characters foreign, European characters visiting the Old West or immigrating to the Old West. So that kind of explains some of it. Sometimes they didn't care, like in the official Django sequel from 1987, Django Strikes Again. Franco Nero does the dubbing, and he has his accent. So I don't know, maybe the 20 years in the monastery, he picked it up from the Mexican people there. I'm just kind of spitballing here, Anyway, this is really a beautiful, definitive one. I think I've watched this twice, and I'll have to watch it again sometime. I don't want to wear it out. Not that I can, once I'm careful with it, but this is in my top 10 favorite films of all time, the original Django, and it was beautiful. This is a beautiful addition. And even though this could make me some money, maybe that I really need, look at that shiny gun. I'm going to keep it. So that's my 8 just straight steelbooks that I have right now. Like I said, I've had some others, and I've had some on DVD, and I've sold all of them in the past. I'm not as crazy about collecting them as a lot of people are. But if an edition comes out and the steelbook is nice, like this Django or that The Thing, and it's affordable and it's got extras and it looks good and it's worth it, I'll definitely snap it up. 5 of these are by Universal, and they obviously did a really good job with their line. And yeah, so a Shout Factory and a Arrow too. I'm not sure who did this Ghost in the Shell, and Wolverine was Fox, but anyway, oh wait a minute, Ghost in the Shell, Anchor Bay. Okay, all right. I have some really nice X-Men Steelbooks, X-Men X2, and X-Men The Last Stand. I sold those and kept the standard editions because the Steelbooks didn't really have that many extras on them, whereas the three official um, Fox Blu-rays have tons of extras and beautiful print. So, like, why don't you do this? So, um, all right, well, that's it. I'm going to sign off. This was a little longer than I intended, but not as long as, the epic length videos I've been kind of churning out. So thanks for watching my collector porn with me, and I'll be back with some kind of video in the near future. I just want to say real quick, I'm still working on that magnum opus music multi-part video series, and it's kind of grown kind of beyond to where it's going to be like episodes of The Bottomless Well. It might just be its own little show, like its own mini series, because I'm going to be covering a lot of albums and a lot of history. So I've got the playlist for it set up, and I've got some notes, and I've got a lot of here, and I've listened to everything. I need to re-listen to some of it, the ones I'm less familiar with, take a lot more notes. And then I'm going to kind of present it to you guys in chapters. So I'm pretty excited about it, but it's like a whole subgenre of music that I'm particularly obsessed with, and I hope it turns out good. It's going to be a little unconventional for this kind of list. I wanted to kind of make it mine, so to speak. So that's it for now. I'm going to take off, listen to Motorhead, and chill. Thanks a lot.